Hi, welcome back to this channel. I'm Mo. I'm a newbie cash stuffer living at over 6,000 feet, and this is the mountain budget. Today's video is a cash planning, a cash budgeting. I am planning for a stuffing that is meant to take place on the 9th of April. Also, oh, she was quiet right before this. I thought she was maybe asleep, but I am a cat sitter for an entire year, and the cat that I'm watching, unfortunately, is not fixed, and so she does go into heat occasionally, and she's currently in heat. So if you hear her kind of sounds of agitation in the background, I really apologize. I hope it doesn't totally reduce your enjoyment of this video, but I also understand if you're like, "Ooh, that's not for me." This cash planning is for a cash stuffing that theoretically is meant to take place on April 9th. Wednesdays are when I typically do my cash stuffing. However, I'm about to go on a 10-day trip and I won't have access to my bank or any of my planning supplies. So I want to do all that cash stuffing now, budgeting now, everything, get it done, and that way I can go on my trip without that kind of lingering on my to-do list. So with all of that said, let's get right into it. I have already done an initial kind of rough estimate of a budget. I know that this week I'm working with about $680. So I'm just gonna, I don't know, let me see if that, is it on screen? It is. Okay. So I'm working with roughly $680, but I do have a little bit of wiggle room. I'm the kind of budgeter that I get paid once a month and it all sits in my bank and I portion it out over the month. I cash stuff weekly because I feel like it keeps me on top of things and I don't just set it and forget it for an entire month. And also, I love the act of cash stuffing and cash planning and everything, so doing it more frequently is more fun for me. But because of that, that means, I'm not dealing with a weekly paycheck or a bi-weekly paycheck where I have to work specifically within those numbers. As long as I stay within my monthly budget, I'm okay, which is why 680 is kind of a rough estimate, but I can move it around if I feel like I need to. All right, so right at the start, groceries is gonna get $75 this week. And it's going to get that in the form of a 50, a 20, and a 5. And I'm going to do a new little system here. We're going to write down the number. We're going to write down the denominations. We're going to subtract it from the total, and then we're going to check it to say that we've subtracted, we've done all these steps. Because the subtracting from this and the writing down the denominations, I sometimes forget it. So I'm trying to really keep myself on top of it. All right, for spending money, I'm getting $50 this week. And that's just gonna be in a 50. Okay. Eating out is getting a 50 as well. And I'm actually really hoping this week, because I'm gonna be at home, I'm really hoping I don't spend most of this. Because I'll be kind of looking after my sister. The reason I'm going home is because my sister is about to give birth. I'm trying to time it so that way I'm home while she gives birth. But of course, knowing my luck, I'll be home for 10 days, fly back to the mountains, and then immediately get the text that she's gone into labor, which that will be hilarious if that happens, and totally fine. I'll turn right back around, no big deal. The Project for Awesome is getting $10 this week, and that's gonna be in the form of a $10 bill. All right, now kindness, we have a little da-da-da that we have to do. So on my digital sheet, I had plotted out $20 for kindness this week. However, in my previous video, I did an unstuffing and I had spent quite a bit on kindness. I sent flowers to the mother of a friend who is currently in the hospital after recovering from a surgery. She's doing well. And I went over what I had by $7. So instead of budgeting $20, I'm going to actually budget $15, and I'm just going to call that $2 a rounding error, and it'll kind of all even itself out in the long run. But I am going to subtract the full 20 from here so that way I don't get confused, because that number that I'm working with, that we started with, the 680, I've pulled it from my digital sheet. And I had not accounted for these IOUs yet. And I thought I was about to get rid of that sheet, but we still need to do 2 others first. Okay. Next is coffee, and as it so happens, I went over in my coffee by $30 as well from the IOUs because I bought some home goods at the coffee shop. They'll sell like locally made, you know, plates and candlestick holders and stuff like that. And I went over by 30, and my budget for this week was 30. So I'm actually gonna say $0 this week to coffee, but I will still, oh wait, oh shoot, hold on. Kindness gets 15 and it gets it in the form of a 10 and 5. And I do think though I did that subtraction. Ooh, okay. I'll put a little asterisk here in case we have to recalculate, and I'll know not to go by that number. Okay, coffee though is getting 0. So obviously not getting a denomination. I'll just, I feel like crossing that out will confuse me. So, but I am still gonna subtract the 30. All right, that's done. Books is getting, oh my gosh, for a second I thought it was getting $100. No, I was like, wow, that's a lot. It's getting $20, and it will get that in the form of a $20 bill. Local art is also getting 20. There we go. And just like books. Okay, tips is getting $20. Oh, let me cross this out to say that I've done this. Okay, we're almost fully reconciled the IOUs. And then tips I like to give in smaller amounts. I still have quite a few ones left, I think, but tips is getting 20. Let's do 110, 15. Oh, that's a lot of ones, but I'm just gonna do it because I really have been using up a lot of ones recently. 5 ones. All right, Father's Day. Wait, did I don't think I did. That's why we're doing the check mark. All right, Father's Day. I'll also put a asterisk by coffee. Wow, I'm like pulled in a million different directions right now. Okay, Father's Day for the 3rd time. $5 with getting a 5. Check mark. Sibling birthdays is getting 25. That'll be in the form of a 20 and a 5. Cora is getting 5. Cora is my niece who I'm hoping arrives safe and healthy very soon. And then this is our final IOU situation, miscellaneous celebration. I had also kind of rough drafted saying $20, but I'm over in my miscellaneous celebration by $20, which makes me highly uncomfortable because I feel like miscellaneous celebrations pop up on me all the time, and I don't love having nothing in that envelope, not gonna lie. So I might next week kind of overstuff it more than I'd been planning, maybe like front load it for the rest of the month or something. But anyway, long story short, I don't know if you can tell because there's kind of a bend in it, but I'm over by 20 and I had planned on giving it 20. So just like with coffee, we're gonna give it 0 this week, but we're still gonna subtract 20 from this total, and then we are done with this little dude. All right. And now we should be fully reconciled for the unstuffing, which is nice. All right, vehicle maintenance is getting $70. That's gonna be getting, I can just check mark that. That's gonna be getting a 50 and a 20. Oops, that's okay. We'll just do all together like that. And there we go. 1 month ahead is gonna get $50. All right, clothing is getting 20. Hair and nails are getting 20, although I really should have this at an IOU stage as well, because I mentioned this last time, but I spent a lot of money at Holo Taco, money that I should not have spent, and I need to be paying myself back. So I'm gonna let this grow to about $100 because my Holo Taco order was $97. Crazy, I know. I'm like banned from buying nail polish for the rest of the year. I'm so serious. And then I'll consider myself paid back. All right, self-care is getting $60, and we'll do that with a 50 and a 10. Whoops, don't do the check mark until you've done the whole shebang. All right, oh, let me put a star there too. Treat yourself, that's birthday savings for me, is getting just a 10. Not just a 10, that's lovely. 10 is great. Oh, I'm liking the trajectory here. Hobbies is getting $10. Are we gonna actually do this? Are we gonna get this correct? I'm gonna be so excited. Don't speak too soon, Mo. Recreation or entertainment is getting 20 this week. Still debating if I want to buy those concert tickets. I just don't know. They go on sale tomorrow, and then they'll go, like, I'm sure they will immediately sell out because it's a very popular band. And then, you know, later on, if I decide I want to get them, they're going to be like $500, I'm sure. But, you know, honestly, that will make my decision easy. You know what? That is going to make, I'm deciding this right here and right now during this cash budgeting. I'm not going to try and get tickets tomorrow because they are already expensive. Well, I'll just go online and see, because I've seen some tickets that have already been purchased in the pre-sale that are already being scalped at really high prices. Tomorrow, the general sale goes live, and I'm going to just try and buy direct through the venue. And if the tickets are like $100 or less, I will buy them direct from the venue, which they're not going to be. Okay. But if not, then I'm not going to buy them no matter what. 100 is my drop dead. If they're $105, doesn't matter. $100 is my drop dead. Okay. For right now. And then later on, and the reason why my drop dead is so low right now is because I don't actually know if I want to go to this concert. And I kind of explained that in my previous video about just, I don't love crowds. I don't love loud noises. I love this band, but I don't know. And so because I'm not certain about this purchase yet, my drop dead price is quite low, to hedge against me feeling like there's a scarcity mindset of, oh gosh, like, you know, they're going to sell out and and then buying tickets, spending way too much on something that I don't really want to do that much anyway. So I'm going to check it out tomorrow, see what the price is. If it's within my drop dead, I might go ahead and buy it. If it's not, I'll hold off, and I'll really consider it over the next couple of months. The concert's not until the end of the summer, or like middle of the summer, I guess. And, you know, depending on how I'm feeling, if I decide, you know what, no, this is once in a lifetime, this is going to be so amazing, the venue's incredible, I will come up with a new number, you know, like maybe $250 or something like that, and see if I can get any tickets there. But which is probably gonna happen, all these tickets are gonna sell tomorrow, and then the scalpers are gonna be out there selling them for like $500, $700, that probably is gonna make my decision for me, because no matter what, no matter how much I love a band, I did that once. I went to the Eras tour and I told myself never again. That was insane. I mean, it was a very cool concert, don't get me wrong, but I spent so much money on my ticket, and it was not worth it to me. Like, that money for that experience. I mean, yes, it's so cool to say that I went to this incredible tour that's like historical tour, but for me personally, who doesn't like crowds, who doesn't like super loud noises, you know, that it just doesn't make sense to spend that much money on a concert ticket. So that's my whole little spiel on that. Hope you're chill hearing that. I'm just gonna make sure this doesn't fall asleep. Okay. Good Decor. We're so close. We're so close to being done. Good Decor is getting $30 in a 20 and a 10 minus 30. New Year's Eve is getting $20, and that's just going to be in a 20. I think we did it. How much did I say for, oh my gosh, I said for the 100 envelope savings challenge, $20. You guys, this is my first kind of hitchless budgeting session. Fabulous. Oh, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. Okay, now let's count these all up. So we've got no 100s this week. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wait, let's make sure I'm actually counting these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 50s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 20s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 10s. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 5s, and 5 1s. Okay, that turns out to be $5 in 1s, $30 in 5s, $70 in 10s. Oh, I think that's $220. But I always second guess myself. Yep, $220 and $300. So let's add this up. 300 plus 220 plus 70 plus 30 plus 5. Oh, right. No, we're not going to get the right number there. We're not going to get the right number there because of all this, like, I'm going to just trust that I am correct, which I know is big for me. Like, who are you, Mo? When are you ever correct? Before we switch these numbers over here, I'm going to confess that from my unstuffing, I pulled the nicest of the bills that I had, because I am trying to get a little collection going of nice bills, because I am one of those girlies. I am definitely, I'm a nice bill girly. You know, I want them to look nice and crisp and clean in my cash stuffing envelopes. So I'm going to count what I have here and then subtract from what I'm asking for. So 5s, for example, well, actually, let's go the other way. So we are not doing any 100s. We have a 50. So instead of 6 50s, I'm actually going to ask for 5 50s, which is $250. All right. I didn't have any good 20s, believe it or not. So we're going to ask for all 11 20s. 220. And then I did have a couple of nice 10s, decent 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4 decent 10s. So we're only going to be asking for 3 10s instead, because I'm asking for 7, but I already have 4. So we're going to be asking for 3 10s, which is $30. And then I had quite a few 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yeah, so I don't even need to ask for any 5s, and I will only take the best 6 5s that I have from here. So this is a really good 5. This is a really good 5. 3. That's like a decent-ish 5. That's not a very good. I mean, it's a good 5, but it's not the best. That one's a little worse. That one's a little worse. Okay, so this is the one that I will not. I'll send back to the bank. And then these are the 5s I'm keeping. And then I had no good ones. All my ones are gross. So I am going to ask for 5 1s, which will be $5. Let me put this 5 back in here. And is anybody like embarrassed with depositing money and then immediately withdrawing money? I don't know, because it just feels silly to me. Be like, okay, here. And now I'd like to make a withdrawal, especially because once I went back one day. Normally I space it out like a couple of days. Once I went back one day, deposited money, and then the next day I came back and I had the exact same teller, and I'm pretty sure I got some of the bad bills right back because it was the same teller and the same like kiosk. So, all right, so how much am I asking for from the bank this week? 250 plus 220 plus 30 plus 5. 505. That's a decent number. And there we go. I'm going to go ahead and go to the bank and get the cash that I need to do my stuffing later today. And then hopefully I will be all set to go on my trip. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. This has been The Mountain Budget. I'm Mo, and now it is definitely time for me to go, but I appreciate you more than you know. Bye.